What are 3 things you love to experience when you travel internationally, and only international? Aloha everybody, welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, don't forget to like the video as it helps boost my channel, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. So I just got back from my first international trip in a very long time, 3 years to be exact. And before going on this trip, I thought to myself, what would be some things and experiences I would have that I haven't felt in a long time that would be very familiar, but yet refreshing. I'm ready to share some of my top ones. Here we go. The adrenaline. There is this unique form of adrenaline that you get every time you land in a new destination. After how many hours on a flight or even a bus ride or crossing a border into a new country? I hate mopeds so much. When you arrive in a new country, there's like a feeling you get. Like a very overwhelming feeling. And that is literally leaping out of your comfort zone into a place you're not familiar with. All right, first international trip, let's go. You're about to experience new food. I would think about food first. You're about to experience new culture, meet new people, try new food, experience new music, new style of living. But best of all, there's a whole adventure you're about to embark on and memories to be had that you don't know of yet, but it's gonna happen. And if you're like me, that doesn't exactly have a plan, that leaves even more room for adventure. Like after you get off a long flight, you go through immigration in an airport. Once you go through that, you're in a new world. It's literally a new chapter of adventure waiting to be written. Being social on steroids? Yeah, being social on steroids. After coming back from this trip, I found myself to be more. This is what I get for living on a very busy street. After coming back from this trip, I found myself to be way more social than I remember, or at least in a long time. There's no doubt about it that during the course of the pandemic, with lockdowns and all these different restrictions, there's been a very strong strain on social life. But having taken this leap into international travel, this first trip in a long time, I found myself setting aside some comforts of kind of being introverted, quiet, and more reserved to myself to actually engaging with everybody that I met along the way. Part of that adrenaline that you get when you arrive in a new country is literally peeling back layers of your own comfort zones. If you're reserved and you travel internationally, you're more inclined to have to talk to people kind of forcefully, not exactly in a bad way. And that's what I found myself reverting back to. Something I miss so much about travel is just talking to people, just being a social butterfly. And it's obvious to say one of the greatest pleasures of conversing with people, especially in a foreign land, is that you get to learn so much. Better yet, you have a greater chance of more adventure. Not that I don't enjoy talking to people, but ever since coming back from this trip, I find myself enjoying talking to people again. That kind of goes along the lines with, the whole concept of you never know what you have until it's lost. During the pandemic, our social lives were practically stripped from us. Now that it's back, I definitely appreciate it a lot more. Coming back is not the same as never leaving. This is so damn true for any form of travel, domestic, international, but especially international. I spent the week in Belize, even if it's a country I've been to before. But this second time, this still entailed new experiences, new adventure. And it allowed me to create new memories that I can reminisce. Standing on Mayan history, that's unique within itself. But even going back to Belize, that statement, coming back is not the same as never leaving, that remains true in Belize. I've been to Belize before, but I was a different traveler then. Coming back to Belize, having had way more experience in travel, and just having a new set of eyes, a new perspective on how I appreciate what I'm taking in, basically. It just allowed me to appreciate Belize much more. As for coming back home from this trip, I feel pretty damn good. You ever go through maybe like a minor issue in life or a moment that feels very stressful to you and you're trying to figure out how to get through it, get past it? And after you solve the problem, you feel like a weight is lifted off your shoulders, you feel more at ease. That's what I feel like this trip did for me. The pandemic has been very stressful, and having not taken any trips for the passion that I have for travel in a long time, this was definitely a breath of fresh air. Now, personally, what makes this trip more unique is that I met my family in Belize, and it was like a 2-in-1. United, really good to be together. This is unbelievable. I basically had my first international trip, but I also spent a lot of quality time with my family. Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to Belize City? Hey, oh! That just makes it. That just makes it that much more refreshing.
Hey, ready? Do it. Yeah, the A. Perez pose.
For those who have taken an international trip since the start of the pandemic, let me know what are some of the memories you've relived on your trip. And for those who haven't traveled yet, or planning to, or looking down the horizon for a trip, let me know what you look forward to. And if you can agree on some of these, I would love to hear your feedback on the comments below. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And once again, don't forget to like the video as it helps my channel grow. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. As I close this out, once the traveling begins, the voyage never ends. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you on the next adventure.